Good morning, welcome to today's practice. We're going to be focusing on lower back. So when you are ready, we're going to come down to the floor and just lying on your backs, getting comfortable. So rolling all the way back. We're going to keep the knees bent. Just take the feet flat to the floor. Allow the tailbone to lengthen away from you, and just allow the lower back to release down towards the floor. Turn the palms to face up and just start to connect into your breath. Breathing in and out of the nose. Just allowing the breath to flow around the body. We're going to walk the feet away from us just a little. And bring awareness to the body. So just bring your thoughts into your body. Take them internal. And just observe your body. Notice any tension. Notice any aches, any pains. Try and listen to what your body needs. Let's take the arms over the top of the head. You can keep a bend in the elbows. Just allow the shoulders to rest down. Again, trying to keep the lower back towards the floor. We don't have to press the back down. Just allow it to release down so we're not arching through the lower back. Let's roll both knees to the left side. And then roll them all the way to the right. Just keep the knees flowing from left to right. Just bring a little movement into the body, into the hips, into the lower back. You can connect to the breath as well. So breathe in as the knees roll to one side. Breathe out as they come to center. And breathe in as they roll again. So you'll notice you're always breathing in as you're lifting, as you're rising, and breathing out as you're releasing or coming down. Coming back to center. Let's take the knees now into the body. You can use your arms to squeeze the knees in. And just gently rock from side to side. And as you're rocking on your mat or on the floor, you're noticing that you're pressing your lower back more so into the ground. And you're just getting a gentle massage here. You can start to draw circles with the knees. So squeeze the knees in towards you and let them circle away from you. So they can be small circles or big circles. Maybe it depends on how your body feels. It might be that they start off small and just gradually get bigger and bigger. Changing directions. And then And when you're ready, let's squeeze the knees all the way in. Lift the head, the shoulders. Try and feel the tailbone lifting. You're curling into a ball. Gently releasing down. We're just going to start to rock forwards and back to a seated position eventually. If this feels a little uncomfortable on the back, you can just go straight to a seated position. So just starting to rock and roll. Rock and roll. Again, you're massaging the back, but the slower you move, the more you take away the momentum, the more you're going to also activate your core muscles. Especially the slower you go when you're trying to come upright, it becomes quite tricky. And you don't always make it up. Sometimes you fail and that's okay. I always do. And I think it's good if you fail, because then you know you've taken away that momentum and you've had to work hard to get to that seated position. So let's all now come to our seated position. So crossing the legs. If you need to sit on a block, a cushion, a bolster, please do. Just rest the palms, hands onto the legs, the thighs. Sitting tall through the spine. And just take a moment to be upright. Feel yourself lifting tall through the crown of the head. So imagine you're on a piece of string. Every time you breathe in, you're lifting taller and taller. You're creating space through the spine, through the body. Every time you breathe out, you're feeling your shoulders, your hips, your knees all release further down. Let's take hold of the knees, and we're just going to start to draw circles over the top of the hips. So when I first sit on the floor, I've always got such tight hips, and it's quite uncomfortable just in the front of my hips. So I always sit on the floor and I will do these hip circles, and they will gradually just ease off, and it just becomes that little more comfortable for me. Hip openers are something I struggle with, and everyone's bodies are different, so some people might sit on the floor and it might be a little more comfortable for them to do that with a bit more ease. So you've just got to learn your body, know your body, and be able to make it a little happier. Changing directions. You can change directions as many times as you need to, or that feels right. Just flow with the body and allow the body to move. And then coming back upright. Roll the shoulders up, down and back. Inhaling, reaching the arms all the way up to the ceiling. As you exhale, take the hands out in front of you and just release the elbows to the floor. Let the forehead release down. And try and keep your seat bones to the floor. Try not to let the seat bones lift. Walk both hands over to the left side. Forehead releases. And just squeeze this right shoulder down a little. This is our first stretch coming into the lower back. So you might feel this already. You don't want it to be too intense, so just keep it gentle. If you feel any discomfort, just ease off. Walk both hands over to the right side. Forehead releases down. And then walk the hands back to center. Keep the elbows lifted and just stretch the arms out. Release the forehead. And then slowly lifting up. Let's come over onto our knees. So to start off with, just come up onto your knees and bring your hands to your hips. So what I want to be really clear here is the movement of the pelvis. So hands on the hips, and I want you to think about tilting the pelvis forward. So as you tilt the pelvis forwards, you'll notice that your bum pushes back, your ribs come forwards, and then if you tuck your tailbone under, you're doing the reverse. So as you tuck under, the tailbone tucks under, and you'll notice the tummy draws in. So remember this for when we come into our cat and our cow pose. So let's come into the cat and the cow pose and we can go through it. So in our tabletop position, notice that you tilt the pelvis forwards to come into your cow pose, and you tilt the pelvis backwards to come into your cat pose. So exhale as you release down to your cow pose, and inhale as you lift up into your cat pose. So just keep moving through the two, moving with your breath. And bring awareness to the movement of the lower back. It might be that you feel a little pinching as you tilt your pelvis forward because you're compressing the lower spine. So if you feel that, just don't come as low and try and draw the chest forwards. So you're creating space in the spine rather than compressing the lower back. Coming back to center. Let's step the right foot to the right hand. See if you can keep your hands where they are as we push the hips all the way back into a hamstring stretch. I did quite a few burpees yesterday and I've got very tight hamstrings today, if you couldn't tell by my face going into that stretch. Keep the chest lifted. Keep the crown of the head drawing up and forwards. We're going to come back into our cat and our cow pose here. So think about tucking the tailbone as the spine lifts all the way up, and then releasing, tilting the pelvis forwards, drawing the chest forwards. Let's do that a couple more times. And then when you're ready, just stepping the right foot back, come to the other side. So the left leg steps forwards. Again, keep the hands where they are. If you do need to step them back a little, like I do today, please do. Pushing the hips back. Ooh, that's incredibly tight. Draw the chest forwards. And then again, let's move into that cat and cow position. So tucking the tailbone, lift through the spine, really round through the back. And then draw the chest forwards. Try and tilt the pelvis forwards. Again, curling and lengthening. One more time, breathe in as you curl, breathing out as you release. Coming back, stepping back, tuck the toes and let's push back into our downward facing dog. So keep the knees bent and think about drawing the chest towards the thighs. So really open up into the spine. Send the hips to the back of the room and release the forehead down. Look towards the knees, towards the legs. And if you need to move the body, the hips, you can. Just allow yourself to be free in the pose, to move the body. And then slowly tiptoe the feet to the hands. And release into a forward fold. So bend the knees generously and allow the body, the upper body, to rest on top of the thighs. Forehead releases. And you can let the arms hang down or take hold of the elbows. And then if you want to, you can sway from side to side. Releasing the arms if they're not already. And we're going to curl all the way up through the spine. So keep the chin tucked in. Arms are heavy. Let the head be the last part to lift. Roll the shoulders down and back. Let's take a deep breath in as we reach the arms extended mountain. Exhale as you release into your forward fold. Inhale as you lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Step the feet back to your plank. You can lower the knees here if you need to. As we lower, chaturanga. Lift into your upward dog. And push back into your downward facing dog. Looking to the hands, step or walk the feet to the front of the mat. Release into your forward fold. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale, bring the hands to your heart center. Inhale, extended mountain. Pause here. Exhale, let your breath return to normal. Interlock the fingers. And we're going to lean the body over to the right side. And as you lean to the right side, push the hips to the opposite side. And we're just careful not to lean forwards or back. Just keep the body long, nice and tall. Come to the other side, so come to the left side. And then back to center. Stretch up tall. As you exhale, release to your forward fold. Inhale to lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Step back to your plank. You can lower to your knees again if you need to, or keep them lifted as we chaturanga. Lift into your upward facing dog. And push back into your downward dog. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Take the knees to the floor. Let's come down into our child pose. So the knees go as wide as they can. Take them to the edge of the mat. Toes meet in the middle. And we sink all the way down and back. So you're feeling your chest, your armpits are squeezing down towards the floor. You're lengthening through the spine. And if you want, you can just push the body from side to side to feel a little release. Let's walk both hands over to the left side. If you can, try and take the hands off of the mat. And if you want a deeper stretch, take the right hand on top of the left. Release all the way down. Try and squeeze that right shoulder towards the floor. And again, you're starting to feel that stretch into the lower back, into the side of the body. Let's walk both hands now to the right side. Again, if you need a deeper stretch, the left hand comes on top of the right and release the forehead down. Coming back to center. Let's just release down once more. Slowly lifting. Draw the knees back under the hips. Tuck the toes, and we're going to push all the way up and back into our downward facing dog. So you push the hips back and press into the whole of the hand. Let's step the left foot into the middle of the hands. Come into your warrior two. So the back heel lowers and we windmill the arms all the way up. Warrior two pose. Let's come to our side angle pose. So the left elbow comes to the knee. The right arm is going to stretch all the way over the top of the head. So you create a long line from the fingertips all the way to the heel of the foot. You can take it deeper if you like and take the left fingertips to the floor. Really feel the opening into the side of the body. Let's roll the body forwards. And we're going to come to a wide-legged forward fold. So just turn the left toes to face in. But keep the body long. We don't want the spine to curl here. So keep the hands walked out in front a little. So it gives the spine space to be long. If the hands are back here, we're going to be curling. So lengthen through the body. Take the right hand to the middle. The left arm is going to reach all the way up to the ceiling. See if you can look up to your fingertips. If it's not comfortable, just keep your gaze either to the side or the floor. And then release. Come to the other side. Left hand to the middle. Right arm reaches all the way up. And then release down. We're going to turn now and face the right foot. So turn the right toes to face forwards and lift the back heel. Lift to your crescent lunge. Extend through the back leg. Take the left hand to the floor. Right arm reaches to the ceiling. Again, try and look to the fingertips if it's comfortable. Releasing all the way down. Let's come into our warrior two. So lower the left heel. Windmill the arms. Bend into the right knee. So we're facing the opposite way now. Warrior two pose. Come to your side angle. So the right elbow comes to the knee. Left arm over the top of the head. Again, you can take it deeper by taking the fingers to the floor. Open through the side of the body. Keep the tailbone tucked in. Don't let the hips push back behind you. Keep tucking the tailbone under. Let's roll the body forwards. Come into your wide leg forward fold. So both toes face forwards. And we lengthen through the spine again. So keep the hands walking out. Let's come back into our cat and our cow pose. So we're going to release the chest, the spine down, and feel your pelvis tilting forwards. And then lift through the spine, tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin, and then release all the way down. So let the pelvis tilt forwards. Again, lifting all the way up, round through the spine, and then releasing down. Once more on your own, move with your breath. Breathing in to lift, breathing out to release. Let's walk the hands to the left side, lifting the back heel, lift your crescent lunge. Extend through the back leg. And then the right hand comes to the floor. Left arm reaches to the ceiling. Extending through the back leg and allowing the hips to sink down. Take the left hand down. We're going to step to the front of the mat. Release into your forward fold here. So just heel toe the feet hip distance apart, and allow yourself to release forwards. You can keep the knees bent a little so the fingertips can comfortably come to the floor. If you want to hold on to the toes or tuck the palms under the feet, you can. Feel the belly lifting, feel the belly button lifting towards the spine, creating space, and the forehead releases down. Slowly releasing. Lift halfway and release all the way back down. Inhale to reach the arms, extended mountain. Exhale as the hands come to your heart center. We're going to come down to the floor next. So just take a seat back. Keep the legs out in front. And we want the knees to be bent still, but the feet to be flat to the floor. So you don't want them too close to you, just keep them shuffled away a little. Legs are parallel. And all we're going to do is lift all through the spine and then fold forwards onto the thighs. Let the forehead release down. And you can just take the arms under the legs or let the arms release down. And allow yourself to release forwards. You feel a release of tension into the lower back. And just enjoy the gentle pose. It's nothing too intense. It's just releasing of tension. You can stay here if you want to. You can reach the arms forwards to the toes, so lift the toes up. And then push the toes towards the floor, so you're lengthening more so into the upper body. As you push the feet away, it pulls you forward slightly. If you want, you can try pushing the feet away a little bit more, so you've got a bit more length there. Push the feet down, again lengthen through the upper body. You can push the seat bones back a little. So you're starting to almost come to more of a straighter leg, but still keeping those knees bent. And again, staying here where you can really push the hips all the way back now so the legs are straight. Lengthen through the body. And feel your seat bones pushing back behind you. Feel the legs lengthening, heels pushing away from you. And then slowly lifting. Let's bend the right leg and take the foot over the top of the left. Left elbow comes to the inside of the knee and the right arm comes behind you. And we're just twisting to the side of the room. Have the left palm facing the same direction that you are. And then stay here, or just hug that left knee now in towards you. So you're hugging the knee and draw the knee towards the body. So you release a little tension into the hip, into the glute, which can sometimes cause some pain or discomfort in the lower back. And then start to release. Come to the other side. So take the left foot in, take it over the top of the right, and then again, twisting to the side of the room, bringing the right elbow to the knee, palm facing the same direction as you. Nice tall body, lift through the crown of the head. And then when you're ready, just hugging the knee towards you. The more you hug the knee towards you, the deeper the stretch. But just be careful not to lean towards the knee. You want the knee to come towards you. And then slowly release. Extending the leg out, and we're just going to roll back onto the mat, rolling all the way back down. Hug the knees into the body and just gently rock from side to side. Taking the arms out wide, we're going to lower both knees to the right side. Really hug the knees close to you. So you want to avoid the legs coming too low. Keep them all the way hugged towards you as you let them rest down. And think about squeezing that left shoulder to the floor. You can stay here depending on your space, or you can try and stretch both legs out to the sides. So the knees are still bent. And then you can always take the right hand and just rest it on top of the legs. Just helps release the legs over. You're just thinking about releasing into the top of the hip, into the lower back, into the side of the body. And just enjoy the pose. Allow yourself to be in the present moment. Connect to the breath, connect to the body. Let's start to release and come to the other side. So keeping the knees hugged in close. We're going to roll all the way over to the left. And again, depending on your space, if you want to stretch the legs out a little more, you can. I'm a little bit more strapped for space this side. So do your best with what you've got. And then don't worry too much if you can't. And again, if you want to take the left hand on top, you can. Feel the twisting through the spine. You're realigning yourself, resetting yourself. Notice every time you breathe out, the whole body just melts down into the floor. And then when you're ready, just roll the knees back to center. Take the feet flat to the floor. And just take the feet out a little wider than the hips and let the knees drop into the middle. And just pause here for a few moments, allowing yourself to settle and to be calm and quiet. And in your own time, just make your way to a seated position. So you can roll to one side. Use your hands to help lift you. And just cross the legs. Lift all through the body. Shoulders are soft, elbows are soft. Bringing the hands to your heart center, and just lightly press the palms, the fingers together. Feel the contact of the skin. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Bowing the forehead to the fingers. Take a deep inhalation and a long exhalation. Namaste. Thank you for joining me this morning. Hope you enjoyed it. Any feedback, please let me know. And I will see you all soon. Thank you.